Hello, my loves, and welcome to your cosmic weather report for the week ahead. It's 2 years of cosmic weather reports. I did the first ever one on the 9th of July in 2023, which means that I've showed up here every single week for 2 years. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to all of you that watch all of these, how our community's grown, how there's so many more of you now that also show up too and watch these. I love how many of you I have a Sunday morning cup of coffee with or go for a walk with when you listen to these, and it really means the world. Thank you. And so what I would really love is a little happy birthday gift to the Cosmic Weather Report. If there's ever been a report that's changed your life, or you've listened to one of the reports and then gone and done something off the back of a report, I'd love to know about it. So if you're watching this, drop it for us below. If you're listening, maybe drop us an email. But I'd just really love to know how these reports are just weaving their way out there into the world and hopefully making a difference. And that's why I continue to show up every single week for 2 years now, just in the hope that it lands with someone out there and really makes a difference in your life, or helps you to navigate something that you're going through in a slightly different way. And so yeah, 2 years in. Thank you for still being here. Now this week, we start the week with a really magical, beautiful energy. You might remember last week I told you about the Sirius Gateway, which is this really kind of magical, energetic portal that opens every year. Between about the 2nd and the 7th of July, the energy peaks on Monday, on the 7th of July. So on 7/7, this is the peak of that Sirius Gateway energy and frequency. And the energy then will kind of shift frequency and take us through to 8/8, the Lionsgate portal. So 7/7 is a magical manifestation portal. It opens us up to spiritual growth. It's a window of spiritual sight. It really activates the third eye, so we can get a really deep third eye opening and awakening on this day. And most of all, because we're working with Sirius, our spiritual sun, aligning with our earthly sun, on this 7/7 kind of gateway portal where the energy is at its peak, there's going to be lots of light codes of activation coming in. So try and get outside and be in nature as much as you can. I want you to really, really visualize light codes coming in, maybe through your crown, through your third eye, and imagine it going in and awakening your light body, activating dormant DNA, bringing things online. This is a really, really powerful portal. I want you to set some intentions. I want you to make some wishes. Maybe even think about, what do you want to have made happen between 7/7 and 8/8? What will you commit to doing between those times? How will you commit to growing spiritually, to opening yourself up to more of your spiritual self, to awakening and activating more of your light body, to following your intuition more, to whatever it may be that helps you on your spiritual journey? But this is a day of profound spiritual growth where we can really access those spiritual realms, higher consciousness, our soul self, our purpose, what you came here for. It's a really beautiful day to just sit and allow that light energy to beam in. What's my purpose here? What's my purpose here? How can I be of more service? Please show me the way. Really feel that kind of direct dial, that third eye, that spiritual sight that's going to help you to really access those higher realms and be able to see clearly where it is that you're being called to go right now. And on the same day, we get a really big day on Monday to start the week. We get Venus trine Pluto. So this is a day where there's a really increased drive to start to go after what you desire. It's like an energy of liberation, freedom, awakening, very deep inner truth, very deep inner freedom, very deep inner awakening. And it's a day where you're really called to take back your power, to take back your worth, to take back your value, and to take back your sense of self. And so as on this 7/7 activation portal, this manifestation portal, you're really connecting to your soul self, to who you truly are, to who you came here to be, to who you were before the world told you who to be. I want you to really look at, where do you derive your sense of self? Is it from the outside world, in what you do and who you hang out with and who you're with and where you go and what you wear and where you live? Where have you allowed the outside world to determine your sense of self and who you are and who you can be and what's possible for you? I want you to really take back that sense of self. I get to decide who I am. I get to decide what I want. I get to decide how I live my life. I want to really take back that sense of self and really take back your power. Look at anywhere that you've given away your power, anywhere in your life you feel powerless. Really take all of that back, because on this same day, Uranus is going to move into Gemini. Now, we will never in our lifetime, unless you're over 84, which if we've got anyone in their 80s watching this, welcome, thank you for being part of this. But unless you're over 84, you will never have experienced the energy of Uranus and Gemini. We've never experienced it in our lifetime. This is going to be a really big energetic activation and awakening that is going to bring about a lot of change. Gemini loves change. Uranus is a planet of liberation, freedom and awakening. So there's going to be a big influx of change. What you're really going to be asked to look at is, where do you need to break free in your life from old, outdated routines, structures, relationships, connections, beliefs? Where has your life just got really stuck and stagnant and stale? And where are you being asked to really, really, really break free from that? You're also, with Gemini being the storyteller of the zodiac, going to be really asked to look at the prison of your own mind. So where do you keep yourself prisoner in your own mind, by your own thoughts, by your own beliefs, by those thoughts you've inherited from your parents, your ancestors, society, school, your job, your boss, your friends? Where are you imprisoned in your own mind and you restrict yourself by your own thoughts around what's possible for you? How often do you make up thoughts and hurt yourself about things that aren't even true? Where are you just kept trapped in your own mind in this perpetual cycle? And what's the narrative you have about your life? What's the story that you tell about your life? You're going to be asked to really break free of those stories and to really liberate and awaken your mind, to go beyond the human mind and its little restrictive thinking, worrying, trying to sort, organize, grip, control, into that cosmic mind. Uranus is about the cosmic mind, access to divine consciousness, access to futuristic thinking, innovative ways of doing things, bringing new energy and information in. So it's going to really blow apart everything where we've got stuck in our mind. And especially because we're on that 7-7 portal at the same time, that third eye is going to ask to be awakened. We want spiritual sight now, not human sight. We want to see and hear and know beyond our human kind of restrictions into our soul self. And that's what Uranus and Gemini is really going to ask you to do. So you might feel restless, frustrated, bogged down, tied down, really kind of, oh, I'm so stuck here. That's going to be showing you where there's going to be change needed. And the final thing I'll say about Uranus and Gemini, I might do a bit more about it kind of when it happens, is that make the changes yourself. Because if you don't make the changes that Uranus and Gemini wants for you, Uranus will do it for you. And then it tends to be a lot more shock, surprise. Oh my God, everything's crumbling, everything's falling apart. The changes will start to come from the outside. It's way more empowering if you make the changes from within you and you take control over the change that you know you need to make in your life. So wherever you feel restless, frustrated, tied down, whatever feels stagnant in your life and stuck in your life, where you're stuck in the prison of your mind, free yourself, and this energy will truly be liberating. It's going to take us into a whole new phase of humanity. So it's going to be a really, really exciting shift and change. Now, to help with that, on Thursday, we get the Capricorn full moon. Now, this full moon, especially around that energy of Uranus having shifted into Gemini, we've had the activation, the awakening. We might be feeling that sense of being stuck between human self and soul self, you know. The Capricorn full moon is going to pick up the work of Uranus and Gemini, and it's going to shake the foundations of your life. And anything that isn't long lasting and true for you and where you're meant to be going is going to start to crumble and fall apart. This full moon is also working with the lunar nodes, the nodes of destiny or fate. And so it's going to act almost like a purpose compass. And so anywhere that you're not in alignment with your purpose, anything that's not meant for you, anywhere you are staying in those old, stuck, outdated things in your life, that's all going to start to crumble. And what you'll find is the more you try to grip and control and find steady footing, the more uncertain it's going to feel. So the best thing to do around this moon is to allow what needs to fall away to fall away. With Uranus coming in, that Capricorn full moon coming in, it's just going to kind of shift apart anything that's no longer needed, anything that you don't want to build the foundations of your life upon. So the best piece of advice I can give you is don't grip, control, hold, or micromanage, because it's going to feel even worse if you do. It's going to be like sand running through your hands as you're trying to hold on to it. Just open your hands and let it go. Be in full trust and surrender. I just let go. I let go. I let go. I let go. I trust. I surrender. I let go. And allow anything not meant for you to fall away. Because on Sunday then, Saturn is going to station retrograde. Now, this is going to be a really big choice point. But what I feel about this Saturn retrograde is that it's going to be like a mini Saturn return for all of us. Because as we know, Saturn has been in the beginning few degrees of Aries. Saturn is now going to move back into Pisces. And then we'll move back into Aries again and meet with Neptune for their conjunction in February next year, which is going to be a massive energy portal and shift. Next year is going to be very, very profound because of all this energy. But we're starting to work with it now. This is like the preparation to prepare us for what's coming. So as Saturn retrogrades, I really feel like it's going to give us all a little mini Saturn return. Now, for anyone who's been through your Saturn return, and I talk all about this in Your Cosmic Purpose if you want to know more about Saturn return and when it happens and how to work with it. But when you have your Saturn return, Saturn, the planet of structures, foundations, boundaries, comes along and says to you, that job you're doing right now, is that the job you want to be doing for the rest of your life? That relationship you're in right now, is this the relationship you want to be in for the rest of your life? Is this what you want to settle for the rest of your life? This version of you that you're presenting to the world, is that who you want to be for the rest of your life? So when we go to our Saturn return, it can often feel like everything's crumbling and falling apart because Saturn is restructuring and asking us to take responsibility for our own lives. It's that inner restructure where everything that we've looked to on the outside or given too much power starts to fall away as we get to build the very foundations of our life. This is what I want the rest of my life to be built upon. So with Saturn moving back into that final sign of the zodiac, the very end of the zodiac wheel, before then going back into Aries and taking us into this whole new beginning again, I really feel like following up Uranus in Gemini, that Capricorn full moon, Saturn station in retrograde, it's going to be like a mini Saturn return. It's going to be a mini crumbling of those things in our life that is not working and are no longer working and maybe haven't been working for a really, really, really long time. Those things we've been gripping onto and holding onto for that false sense of security are going to start to crumble. Anywhere you put a false sense of security, it's going to crumble. And what Saturn in Aries has really been asking us to do is to find that inner authority, to know who you are. This is who I am. This is what I want. This is the life I want to live. Taking back responsibility for your own life, realizing that you're a powerful co-creator, that you get to co-create the reality that you want, knowing who you are. This is now about spiritual sovereignty, when we are really truly connected to the divine, to our souls. It's about real inner power and authority. And that's the shift that we're going to go through now. And so anywhere that you're not being you, anywhere that's not meant for you, and please don't be afraid of all of this. It's so exciting. And remember that nothing will ever leave your life that's meant for you. If something is meant for you, it's going to stay. The only things that are going to fall away are those things we've been holding onto and gripping and trying to keep a hold of to get that false sense of security or safety or a sense of self or identity. And we've been gripping and holding, and it's not been serving us. So when we've been looking outside of us for answers, will you tell me what to do? Will you tell me what to do? That's all got to fall. It's all got to crumble. And we've got to come back to this deep inner foundation, this deep inner knowing, and this very deep connection to that source energy, that 7-7 gateway, that spiritual connection where we remember that we're a soul having a human experience on this journey of life to grow and evolve and awaken. And so this is going to be a really powerful week and coming weeks and months for really beginning to establish a very deep foundation in self, in who you are, what you want, because remember, it all begins with us. All the change that we want to see begins with us. And this week is going to begin that change and start to bring it in. I've got 5 seconds left. I'm going to send you so much love, and I will be back next week.